Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It's been almost a year now since I've posted, but a lot has definitely happened in my life that has just spiraled and became time consuming. But today's topic is definitely a little bit different than what everyone's used to. A lot has occurred and I think it's time we spoke up about it. So the last video that I had decided to post was about my new job. I was a car saleswoman and I absolutely loved it. It was definitely an unforgettable experience I'm never gonna forget. However, it only lasted about a period of 6 to 8 months since my husband and I decided it was time for us to move out of state. Moving completely out of state, especially during quarantine, was definitely difficult. It was hard not only for us emotionally and physically, but of course financially as well. It was definitely an experience to remember. It's something we're going to tell our kids about in a few years, because moving, and then especially during this pandemic, out of state was one of the most life transforming experiences that we have ever been through. We are originally from the Central Valley of California and we decided to move up to Oregon. So not just any part of Oregon, we have decided to move to Portland, Oregon. So if you guys aren't too caught up with everything that's occurred in the past here in Portland, it's very encouraging for you to do a little bit of research on it before you decide to do such a big move like us. A lot has happened here, especially with the pandemic, especially with everything that happened with the BLM movement and LGBTQ communities. A lot has definitely happened and we were able to witness a lot of that, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit scary, especially coming from the suburbs, just because we're not used to this lifestyle and living in the city, and it was life-changing. We definitely have changed our perspectives in life and we view the world a little differently from this side of town. Reason why we decided to move out here was to kind of experience something before we decide to ground ourselves. We've been married now for 2 years and the question is brought up a lot as to, are we gonna have children? Are we gonna purchase a house? What's gonna happen in that area? And it was very challenging for us to come to a conclusion because of that pressure of having to fit in with society and settling down and having kids. But we decided to kind of take a drive last year and we ended up here in Oregon and we absolutely fell completely in love with it. And it took a few months and a lot of difficult decisions were made, but we decided to make the full transition and just do one last rendezvous before we decide to settle down and have children. However, when you actually do it, as opposed to when you're thinking it, is two completely different scenarios. It wasn't as easy as we mentally thought it would be. So of course, we didn't do our research as much as we should, which was a learning experience. So if you plan on moving anywhere, make sure you completely do your research. No regrets. Just throwing that out there. No regrets. But we relied our research on social media, and social media definitely can have a big impact as to how big or small a situation really is. We love where we are at. We absolutely love it. Was it completely different than what we expected? Yes, it definitely was, especially here in Portland. Coming in, the first thing we saw was, of course, the effect that the city took with the homeless population. I mean, there was tents everywhere and it's really heartbreaking, especially coming from where we're from in the suburbs. You don't see that a lot. You did see it. I'm not unfamiliar with it. I am from the city. I was born and raised in the Bay Area. But to see it this thick, I don't know if that's the proper word for it, but it was everywhere. I mean, I've seen a lot here in the past 2-3 months that I've been here, and it's really heartbreaking, especially seeing people our age in our 20s so affected by drugs and homelessness, and it's so sad, you know. And that was probably one of the things that we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. Excuse me. And also, not only that, how affected Portland actually was due to the pandemic. I mean, you expect, if you're from the suburbs, let's be honest, you expect to go into the city and to see everything just lit up and beautiful and people walking around. Like, you want to live that city life. And that's kind of mentally where we were at and what we were expecting. But it wasn't like that. I mean, everything was boarded up, everything was tagged up. You saw drugs in every corner, and it was so sad. And I think what made it a lot sadder for us was for our families to experience that. Our parents, our family is always going to be our family. They're always going to want what's best for us in the long run. So, of course, them coming over here to walk us through, to, you know, be there for moral support and to see everything that we're going to live in, coming from where we're coming, it did have a little bit of worry, you know. And I know we're in our 20s, but our family is always going to be our family. We are really tight. So it was very difficult to watch our families leave and just turn back and just wonder, like, are they going to be okay? Is this a safe area? Is this the right move for them to take? And obviously there is no regrets. No, even though we did put a 1-year lease, but there is no regrets. We're absolutely loving this city. It has since then opened up again. A lot of boards are coming back down. The homeless population, and that was, of course, here in the city, it's starting to scatter out, as in, like, I don't know if they're leaving. I don't know if that's the proper way to say it, but it's definitely clearing up. Everything is becoming family friendly again. Of course, everything due to time, you know, it takes time and process, and I hope everything continues to open up and clear up, because last year is definitely something to remember and something for the book. Although we are loving it, the reality is it has been difficult. It definitely has been a series of events, one after another, after another, after another, after another. And it's not as easy as we thought it would be, like, just move over here, transfer jobs, and you're gonna fit right in again. And it's not. It's completely different. We are Californians, and people here are completely different. Even my job was completely different. The way things were set up, you know, state laws, everything is completely different. And not that it was a hassle to get through, it was just kind of more of a culture shock. We weren't ready to expect what we were expecting. However, I must say a plus was definitely on the, you don't have to get off and pump your own gas. So, I mean, if you're from California where you do pump your own gas, you know that this is probably something really fun. Up to this day, I still can't get over it. Anyways, but, you know, it's definitely different in that area. You have to transfer out your driver's license. You have to transfer out all your bills. You have to transfer out your vehicles. And as for us, we're still financing our vehicles, so we have to go through this entire process of DMV. There's so much in between that we weren't mentally prepared for. I never sleep here. Aside from everything and all the challenges included, Oregon is one of the most beautiful locations that we have ever visited, and we're more than blessed to be living in this state. It's so green everywhere you go. Everyone loves to be in the outdoors. Well, I'm not gonna say everyone, but, you know, mostly everyone loves the outdoors. This location is being taken care of. The community here in Oregon is so united, and it's so insane to be able to experience something like that. Everyone volunteers to pick up trash. Everyone here organizes fundraisers. Everyone here is out and having fun together. And it's, aside from all the crazy stuff that's happening, they unite as one. And I think we couldn't have picked a much better community to be a part of than that. We've always said, you know what, we want to stand for what's right. And we've noticed that here is a lot of what they do. A lot of what they believe in here is a lot of what we believe in, and we're so excited to be able to be a part of this community. Not only that, to experience the beautiful nature of Oregon and to just absorb it all in, and to be able to talk about this with our kids one day. Do we miss our family? Absolutely. Do we miss our friends and our jobs and the life that we had established in California? Every single day. But we are more than happy to be able to experience this. This is something major. This is something so big that you honestly can't even say it in words. And if it's something that you feel that you've been wanting to do for a while, just do it. And it's easier said than done. I'm not gonna lie, but it's so life changing, and it will change you, and it will change everything around you in the way that your world works, the way you view the world. But it's definitely one of the most incredible decisions that we have made together as a couple. So with that being done, and us moving to Oregon and doing such a crazy transition from one location to another, I've decided to change up a little bit as to how my YouTube page is gonna be. Not only are we gonna do all the fun videos, of course, with manifesting, because I do believe that manifesting God is here, okay? Especially this fast, because it was only last 4th of July that we were here, and now this 4th of July we spent it here. But that's a different story. But of course, I'm gonna want to share with you guys the love that we've created with Oregon. And I want to show you guys what we fell in love with. And I want you guys to fall in love as we fall in love even more, because there's so much to do here. So many incredible things. And then of course, not only that, you guys will get an apartment tour once everything's together, because right now I'm sleeping in the living room. Yeah. I sold a lot of our things before we moved out here. We moved out here very minimal. But once everything is ready, there will be an apartment tour. It's a lot of fun. We're right in the middle of Portland in front of Voodoo Donuts. It's so much amazingness coming, and I'm so excited. So welcome back to my channel, guys. Let's give this another run. Sorry I've been MIA. And fall in love with Portland with me. Fall in love with Oregon with me. Let's experience it. Do it. Get out there. Move out of town. Do the big move you've been wanting to do, because honestly, you won't regret it. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.